Hi everybody, it's not very often that you get to see my face because usually I'm filming what I do with my hands. But I wanted to show you today how I organize my stamp sets. It has worked very well for me. I use my stamps more and I use them for more different things, if that makes sense. So we'll just dive right in. I'm first going to show you what I store them in, and I'm going to show you how I catalog them. And the inspiration for my catalog came from Totally Tiffany. She's a paper crafting organizing guru, but she'll help you. She teaches how to organize those specific things, but her principles that she teaches work for everything. So I really have grown to love her and follow her, and I love her products. So I'll share some of those things with you. So before we get too much further, I will show you where I store my stamps. Okay, in my basement I have these little built-in shelves that were here when we moved in, so I just happened to use those to organize my scrapbook corner. But I have my stamps stored in the Close to My Heart organizers. And you'll see that they are labeled with numbers, and that binder over there also. So this particular organizer, they don't make it anymore, but they do have a large organizer that took its place that holds stamp sets. So I'll make sure I link that. You'll see this was my old way, so I would pick the most prominent theme on the stamps and I would put it in these organizers in that specific category. So that's why I have those labels around there. They're kind of from my old system, but I didn't really change anything when I did the new system, and that'll make sense in a minute. So I didn't want to spend the time to totally revamp my system. And the cool thing about Close to My Heart stamps is they come in an envelope already. Some manufacturers do not provide storage for their stamps, so that's one of the things I love about the Close to My Heart stamps, is they make it easy to store them and not have to figure out what am I going to put these in. So I store them in order of the item number, and Close to My Heart stamps are A, B, C, D, E, and then they have C, C, and S, and that's basically just the size of the stamp set. And then CC is Constant Campaign, which are our specials, and then S is Stamp of the Month. So that's what those letters mean. But anyways, I organize them in my organizer alphanumerically. So this is a picture out of the catalog of the current large organizer that Close to My Heart offers. It is large enough to store the stamp sets, and it has dividers in it that keeps them in place. So it's pretty cool. The main difference between this one and the old one is the old one had a hinge lid and this one has a snap-off lid. Okay, now I'm going to bring you over to my table. In my little stand-up organizer on my desk, I have all my stamps that I have not organized or cataloged yet. So I'm going to kind of grab a couple of those and show you how I do that. So before I get into that, I want to show you my catalog, and this idea is what came from Totally Tiffany. So she recommends having a themes and a sentiments list of like common things that you scrapbook. And then she also has categories based on the calendar. So that's kind of where I got the inspiration for my catalog. I just use these great big Avery binders because they're heavy duty, and I have a lot of stamps. So I have two of these actually that are full. Just use these post-it tab dividers, I guess, and I label them that way. So like this one has alphabets and numbers, and then there's arrows, flags, frames, and pennants, card sentiments, journaling stamps. Those ones typically have like journaling lines and stuff like that on them. Sentiments, shapes, and flourishes. animals, baby and kid, background and borders, and then I go on and on, okay? So that's kind of how I have my catalog set up, is just those dividers. Now, when I'm looking at a stamp set, for instance, this one is an alphabet stamp, but if you look at it, it also has these cute little hearts over here and a cute little border down there. So not only would I put this in alphabets, but I might put it in my shapes. I might put it under my love/Valentine's Day category, and then also in my borders, so that I can use it in all three of those categories. So what I do when I go through those is I just take a Post-it note and I'm like, okay, what are all of the things that I could use this stamp sets for? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to write, okay, so it's going to fall in my alphabets category. It's going to fall under my love and Valentine's. It's going to fall under shapes, and it's going to fall under borders. So then what I do, I have an HP printer, so I have the HP Smart app on my phone, which allows me to use my phone as a scanner and then print it off on my printer. So I would then take this stamp set out, just put it on just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then I just use my scanner app and I scan that baby. And I print it off however many times the number of themes and sentiments on my list. So this particular one I would print off 4 times, and then when I put it in my catalog, this stamp set would be filed under each of those categories. And that seems like a ton of work, but let me tell you, it has been amazing in my scrapbooking to be able to go, oh, let's see, I really want to put some leaves on this fall page. Let me see what all I have for leaves. So I then go to my fall section of my catalog, and instead of going through all my stamps, I then have all of this. So I'm in my fall section. Now this particular stamp is a good example, okay? So I didn't really know where to put this in my previous organizing system because it had so much variety of things. Like this stamp is in my Halloween, it's in my Valentine's Day, it's in fall, it's in winter, it's in Christmas. So this is a great example of why I love my catalog. This stamp set is in all those categories. So whenever I'm looking for something for a particular category, say Christmas, this is also going to be there because it has that cute Christmas day. So I have all of these. I'm looking for leaves. I'm not finding any yet. So there's some on that stamp set. I can say, oh, I like those. I'll keep those in mind. And I'm going to come over here. Oh, there's another one on that. That's kind of fun. A different way to use a leaf. And so I just go through that. And then next to each stamp set, so this one has a maple leaf. I think that's what that is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Next to each stamp set, I note which bin that stamp set is stored in. If it was one of my older stamp sets and filed behind a tab, I have the tab name and then the stamp number. So I can go right to where that stamp is in my storage. Now that I don't really separate by tabs anymore and I use my catalog to help me find my stamps, I don't worry about the tabs anymore. If I have an organizer that has a blank space in it, you fill it up. So it doesn't really matter if I have an alphabet stamp in my spring and Easter box because my catalog's going to tell me where to find it. So I am just filling them up. So it's made a lot of good use of my storage too, because I can fill all those up before I ever have to buy another organizer. But anyways, that is how I organize and I catalog all of my stamp sets. I hope that information is helpful to you. And if you have any questions, please comment and let me know because I would love to help you. This system has been life-changing for me. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope that it was helpful to you. If you liked it, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, and I would also love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to post a video every week, and there'll be a variety of topics. Sometimes it'll be a technique, sometimes it'll be a process video, sometimes it might be, like today, a snippet of my craft room and how I organized a certain thing. Really, my goal is to just help you love scrapbooking and love preserving your memories for your loved ones and for yourself. Happy paper crafting. I hope you have a great day.